neighbor. So, normally I try to get things that are very basic so that we can get basic principles across and then we can build on that for recipes and things that we want to do. Well, I was having this conversation and I want to share it with you. You'll notice in my videos, I have lots of jars. And I guess if I saw this, I'd be like, well, what's all this stuff? These are flowers. And when I initially started on my process of bread making, cake baking, that type of thing, our go to flour, all purpose, unbleached all purpose flour. And some of my projects were as successful as I wanted them to be, in that the texture was off or the softness was off. And so then I started doing more research into other flours. So I keep unbleached flour, I keep cornmeal, I keep bread flour, I keep cake flour. Don't mind these pickles, those are pickles. And I keep whole wheat flour, I keep semolina flour. I also keep rice that I can grind for rice flour. Now, why do you need all of these flours? For most people, you don't. You don't. But for myself, because I make so many breads, so many desserts, and all those things from scratch, there really is a difference. For a long time, my all purpose is go to. I don't use self rising because the ingredients in it, we're not really sure. It's an additive and salt and all that stuff, and you may not need that in your recipe. But all purpose was my go to until I tried to make my first cake with cake flour. And then I was like, good gracious, there really is a difference. Do you know why there's a difference in flour? Here's a little education for you. The difference in the flours are the protein percentages. So, the higher amount of protein gives you more structure, more chewiness, and the lower the amount of protein gives you a fluffier crumb for your cakes. So, for instance, cake flour has only about 7 to 9% protein. So, that's why you get that nice spongy when you make your cake. Where you may not want that sponginess on your bread, you want your bread to have a little, chew and bite on it. So that's why we can revert back to either our all purpose or our bread flour. Now, the protein content is directly related to gluten forming in your breads. Okay? So less gluten, softer, fluffier texture. Cake flour, less gluten, all purpose, high. And bread flour runs between 12 and 14% protein, and all purpose is right there in the middle at around 10% protein. So that's why it's a go to for all. Although bread flour, magnifique. There is a difference between that. You can still make a good bread with all purpose. However, that bread flour does something good. So this was just a quick. What is all the flours? What do the flours do? And now that you know that, let's make some bread. I'm gonna make a post for some quick artisan bread that I think that you would really enjoy. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna talk to you.